You are listening and watching to a very special podcast. Let us continue where we left off, shall we? Okay, here we go. Rory managed to meet with her guardian. Her guardian expressed with good news. Rory wrote down on a piece of paper. Is there any bad news involved? The guardian just laughed. No. There is good news. So, Rory managed to listen. Her guardian explained that she's not going to be involved with meeting people, but to observe them from afar. If she can do that, perhaps she'll be of great use. So, Rory agreed, nodding her head. The first two worlds she went to, Barrera was just becoming quite nice and very much of a great conversationalist. Rory felt a little jealous. She noticed that Barrera was just like a light to her dark, and she wanted some sort of light in the darkness. She couldn't help but wonder, what kind of girl is Barrera Devlin? How can she be this chatty? She's getting along with people, but now I'm not. Nevertheless, she continued, but visions of Rosemary appeared. These people bore me, sister. I believe that these worlds are not as exciting as I thought they would be, she said, inside of Rory's mind. I believe you find this tedious. There has to be something more exciting, thrilling. But no, there isn't anything more thrilling. Rosemary had to continue on ranting. She wants to look for something exciting. Rory had to ignore her. Rosemary noticed. Sister, don't you dare ignore me. However, Rory just smiled and put her hands over her ears and swayed her head back and forth as to say, la 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 la, can't hear you. But she didn't actually say that. But her body language said so. Rosemary shouted, you better listen, sister. But Rory didn't. Rosemary stamped her foot like a child. That's not fair, sister. That's not fair. You're being childish. However, Rory wrote down the words for her to see. Rosemary's mouth gaped open as it said, I regret nothing. Rosemary then said, very well, sister. Fine. Be that way. Be that way. I don't give a shit. I really don't give two shits about what matters to you. But you have to know, this is preposterous. You can't be involved with these people. If they find you, they will annihilate you. They're savages. Savages, sister. Rosemary exclaimed. However, Rory just rolled her eyes. She used to believe that, but now it's getting tired. She met some pretty nice people like Becky. Becky. The name haunted her. But Rory managed to contain herself. But Rosemary called her out on it. You think your precious Rebecca is coming back to you? You are definitely screwed. She's never coming back. She's dead, and it's all Marcello's fault. So why don't you just go and kill him, okay? After all, we're gonna look out for some more savages. But these two worlds are really, really hitting the peak. And I feel hungry. and not for the food. You know what I mean when I say that I'm hungry? Rory rolled her eyes again. This time they were looking up at the sky as if she was looking up to see something interesting. However, Rosemary sighed. Fine, sister, fine. But just you wait. Once I find the perfect prey, once I find my little toy, or maybe more, then you'll probably know the definition of perhaps feeling some sort of pain. And when you see me do this, you will regret this, sister. You definitely will. Then Rosemary was gone. But Rory knew. She wasn't really scared of anything. She may be scared of her family, but she could feel a boost of confidence after meeting Barrere Devlin. She remembered how Barrere managed to find out her name and how Rory would freak out. But Barrere was sincere, very kind, very sweet. She didn't have a mean bone in her body. Rory made a vow to herself. I swear, if I do have the confidence to talk again, if I do find my voice and speak, I promise I'll be more social. I'll be more kind. I'll be much more nice, just like Barrere Devlin. I want to be good. I want to just do better. That's all I want to do, she thought to herself. She managed to dust herself, and she managed to calm down for a bit. But the thought of being like Barrere, she wants nothing more to be like her. Rory sometimes wanted to taste her lips, or perhaps drown in her perfume, something along those lines. Even though it sounded pretty weird, but to her, she wants to be everything that Barrere Devlin was. A total amazing person, and admiration, a wonderful, a beautiful, kind, nice, respectful, and also confident, and also very humorous too. Rory remembered watching Barrere lightly bantering with her friends. Rory had to giggle to herself after seeing them banter. She remembered how they were just talking and teasing. It looked like a lot of fun. And Rory a part of her wished she could be part of that. It was crazy to think this way. She realized that she mentioned in her head that she wanted to taste Barrere's lips. If Barrere was, well, like her, then maybe it could work out, but it never really would it? She had to sigh, thinking to herself, she must be straight. Maybe she's not into girls, being friends with them. Maybe she's more into boys. She remembered seeing that some of the guys that were on her team, they were guys. I'm sure these boys wouldn't have a chance with her. I know I wouldn't if I were a boy. So, Rory sighed. However, when she found out that the others were entering a new world, Rory just sighed and realized I bet this kind of world is going to be tedious, she thought. At the same time, Rosemary and her sisters were thinking the same thing. Sister? Yes, sister. I believe that this world we're heading towards is going to be very boring. I do agree so, sister. I don't think this world is ever going to change anything. But they went anyway. When Rory got to this world, she couldn't believe her eyes. Her mouth gaped open. It was an apocalypse. What? Where am I? Rosemary and Pansy were bewildered. Their other sisters, Ruth and Collie, were just babbling away, as they usually did, and fidgeting with their hands. Rosemary looked around. Pansy managed to hold on to her sisters' hands, her little sisters. The little sisters grip on a little too tightly, but Pansy didn't care. Sister, Pansy asked, where are we? I don't know, sister. Perhaps we shall look around, Rosemary said. Off they went. Rory did the same. Her thoughts were saying, I don't know what kind of world this is, but I have a feeling something is about to happen, she said to herself. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. See you next time.